Good day to all the viewers. My name is Desmond Bernardo, aka 00 Des as I am known on YouTube, and I have been a nuclear professional since 1992, where I started working at Koeberg Nuclear Power Station, later attained my license to run the nuclear reactors at Koeberg from the National Nuclear Regulator, went on to become a senior instructor, an engineering consultant, and later on two projects, being a project manager, the last of those projects being the steam generator replacement project, where I finished at the end of March 2025. So I have been in the nuclear industry my entire life. I was trained there. I grew up on Koeberg nuclear safety culture. I saw the transition at Koeberg from 1992 into the new political era within South Africa. And I saw the integration that took place at the time. I was intricately a part of that integration. I can assure you that the information you are receiving from public officials within Eskom as well as government are accurate. I know the staff at the power station well. From all the senior staff down to the people on the ground, because I worked with them. And because I was a licensed reactor operator, and because I was a radiation worker for all of the years that I held my license, and even before when I worked on the plant, I understand the circumstances around the events that took place at Koeberg. When you are told that no radiation leak took place, that is exactly the case. No radiation leak took place to the public. And all the safety systems at Koeberg, including the containment, the nuclear auxiliary building, the ventilation systems, etc., that would make that the case work. And that is why there has never been a radiation leak to the public from the Koeberg site. So why do we have so much misinformation in the mainstream media right now? People at the station leaked information, and most of these would be contractors that don't typically work there, that aren't typically part of the staff at Koeberg, that come in during the outages to work there on various projects. And some of these people leaked information without understanding the full extent of what actually happened. And the senior nuclear officer, Valapi Ntuli, has explained to the public exactly what took place in far more detail than what is necessary. On the INES scale, which is an international scale for the severity of a nuclear event, this event scores a 0 because it is insignificant. It does not even need to be mentioned to the public. And somehow there are claims that the public should have been notified. It's like saying, I started my car in my garage, I pulled out and I hit a brick with my tire, I removed the brick and then I drove out. That is the level of reporting that you are expecting if you want something like this to be reported. Now at the station it might be treated as serious. I might see reversing out of my driveway, hitting a brick as serious because I might damage my rim. But have I endangered myself, the public around me? Absolutely not. Do I care about the money it might cost me to repair my rim? Or did I get a scare when I actually hit the brick? Absolutely. So on site, within the Koeberg ecosystem and nuclear safety culture, a lot would have happened because of these 4 incidents to ensure that it doesn't happen again. And typically what happens, a work stop will be called and the power station managers will address everyone on site. Literally speak to everybody. Now I don't know many companies where this happens every time someone does something wrong or something happens with a ventilation system where all the work stops so that the problem can be discussed with everyone. But this is how the nuclear safety culture works. Because Koeberg is aligned not only with IMPO that oversees the training of the nuclear operators at the plant, but with WANO as well, World Association for Nuclear Operators. And WANO comes and does peer reviews at Koeberg, and Koeberg also sends their staff to do peer reviews at other nuclear power stations in the world. Because yes, we are in the top quartile in the world. Koeberg is a very well performing nuclear power station that can be equated with the top nuclear power stations in the United States. INPO, as a United States organization, has accredited Koeberg's operators for their training and is the only country outside of the US that has received that accreditation. So when I see the comments in the media, on Facebook, in the government's Facebook page, where Valapian Thule's explanation is put out, and I see the most derogatory comments about him and about the staff at Koeberg from absolute racist, it pains me. Because I know Valapi, I know his work ethic, I know what he is going through right now. I understand what the staff at Koeberg is going through right now, and because of a few contractors spreading rumors and misinformation, people now think that iodine tablets were handed out to staff, which is completely ridiculous. Why is this ridiculous? There is no fuel in the reactor core at the moment because Unit 2 is in outage. The fuel has been removed from the reactor core, and because of that there is no fission reaction. Iodine 131 can only form during the fission reaction process, so the reactor needs to be at power. So there is no need at all to hand out iodine tablets. Besides that, the instigation in the report that 150 people were contaminated is just patently false. And we actually know how many people went through the whole body counters. And because it's a nuclear industry and it's an excessive nuclear safety culture, extremely conservative, they decided to check everyone that had been inside the containment building where these events took place. And it took place during something we call eddy current testing, where Jenny jumping or steam generator jumping needs to take place, where manhole covers are opened and people enter the steam generator and insert what we call a spider or a little robot that can walk in those tubes and send a long probe over those tubes to check for cracking. Now, these are new steam generators on both of the units, so you don't expect problems, but this is done because of nuclear safety. And this is how meticulous it is. They don't wait years before they inspect the steam generators. No, they do it every single outage, and this is a part of nuclear safety culture. So, during this event, that area around the steam generator gets put under a negative pressure with a ventilation unit, which is called the HVAC unit, and that ventilation unit stopped working on 2 occasions. On other occasions, there was also airborne contamination monitors that went off. Now, because of this, management decided to test everyone that had been inside containment, even although it was only 31 people that we know was inside there at the time, because we actually take record of people entering and exiting containment. So 31 workers, of which 245 people that have been inside containment over that period of time all went to do whole body counts. And you enter a special machine that counts all the radiation that comes off your body. Whether you've inhaled something, ingested something, it can tell you what it is and where it is in your body. And what was found is that there's 4 workers that received an extremely low dose. So below 20 microsieverts, when the annual dose allowed is 20,000 microsieverts. This just gives you an idea of how small the dose is, from 11 to 20 microsieverts. So this is basically what happened. So the first thing I need to tell you, there was no handing out of iodine 131 tablets. Eskom has said that this is false. These people are spreading false information, and there's particularly people trying to make nuclear look bad, because Eskom and government want to build new nuclear power stations at Tuispunt, at Honneklip Bay, at Duinefontein, at the Koeberg site, and many other sites. There's actually 5 of them, to stabilize the country's power grid. Those are supposed to be anchors at that part of the country to make sure that we can actually start building industry again. That we can start building industry in the Eastern Cape, on the West Coast, Northern Cape, on those corridors where we already have power grids available. This is important for a stable grid, because wind and solar is interruptible, nuclear power is not. Coal-fired power is not. And this is why that baseload capable supply is important to stabilize our grid, especially considering that we will lose 15,000 megawatts of coal-fired power stations by 2035. We have not started building any new baseload capable capacity at the moment, and it might just be too late. So before people want to shut Koeberg down and make these ridiculous comments on social media platforms, first inform yourself, educate yourself. I am Desmond Bernardo, a nuclear professional of almost 30 years. I want to thank you for watching this video. And if you have any further questions, please ask them in the comments below. These people will be perfectly fine. I have had people ask me, are these people going to die? It is sad that we should have questions like this. It is sad that the senior nuclear officer should be called an ape in comments on the government Facebook page. I really want South Africans to unite behind the energy that we need to produce in this country, especially from nuclear, so that we can build industry from scratch again. Because at the moment, our economy is floundering, and we need to support Eskom, not fight Eskom. Anyone that is fighting Eskom, fighting any of the current power stations that are supplying power to the grid, you are going to destabilize this country. People making bad comments like I have seen, horrific comments. You are destabilizing the country. You are an instigator, and I hope that intelligence and the police do their due diligence. Thanks so much for watching. Till the next video.